A reliable source of power is something that I absolutely have to have at the Garden Home Retreat. Not only is it a long distance from the farm into town, but I also have a lot of animals to take care of every day. I often have incubators full of eggs, baby chicks, turkeys, and ducklings in the brooders. If an emergency or bad weather forces my power to go out, I need a really good backup plan. A friend of mine who's an electrical engineer, John Ronza, gives us some helpful information on generators and the need for having a reliable source of power.
If you'll notice, there are many more generators around today than there were just 10 or 15 years ago. People have recognized the need for reliable power, and an emergency standby generator is the solution. At your farm, you've got young pets that need heat, or feeding, or incubators. You've got loads at your house that are probably more critical today than ever before. You've got a refrigerator and a freezer that's got food stored in it. You've got heat in the wintertime. You've got air conditioning in the summertime. You've got a lot of electrical loads. Your life is dependent upon electricity today. Okay, when you're making a decision on what type and size of generator that you're looking for, one thing you've got to decide is, are your loads essential or non-essential? Some people put their entire house or farm on standby power. Some people only have most important, or what we call essential portions of their house or farm on standby power. So we've got to add up all the electrical loads that you want to have on emergency power, and that'll be the determining factor on how big the generator needs to be. The three fuel choices that you have for a standby power system is LP, diesel, and natural gas. If you're in the city and you've got natural gas available, that's a perfect fuel source. You don't have to worry about keeping a tank full, and it's there when you need it. If you're in a rural area where you don't have a readily supply of natural gas, then propane or diesel are your choices. Propane has a storage life of at least 15 years. Diesel has a storage life of 2 to 3 years if you put long-term storage additives in your fuel. The nice thing about diesel is the odds are you've got other diesel loads at your farm that you can use that fuel for as well. Your tractors and lawn and garden equipment may all be diesel. You can use that fuel tank as a fuel supply for those other loads. But do keep in mind you want to turn your fuel over every 2 to 3 years in a diesel fuel tank. As a homeowner, a landowner, or a farm owner, having reliable standby power at your facilities is probably considered pretty important. I think you'll realize that the cost of not having a generator is often much greater than the cost of having a generator.